All right. Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Cody back from PackPullers. It is late at night. The babies are asleep. We finally have a chance to record. And I just want to start this one by apologizing for the lack of content lately. I had so much cool stuff lined up. We had a new set of Grand Archive come out with a really neat sealed product in the Collection series for both Sylvie and Tristan. And I made videos. I opened those up. I love the product, but man, the videos just did not turn out how I wanted them, and didn't feel like they were up to the level of quality that I wanted to post. But if you guys want to see those, or want to see me go over them, or something else to do with them, instead of like an opening and first impressions thing, let me know. After that, I was really excited and planned for a long time. Had some buddies come over. I had one of our premier Patreons, DJSammyD, traveled from several hours from Nashville to come hang out, as well as some friends from a local store, and we opened up the sealed Ultimate Pit Fight product for Flesh and Blood, with the Professor deck and all this, and man, we jammed a super fun Ultimate Pit Fight game, only to realize that the recording had no audio and was in 4x slow-mo, so it was basically unsalvageable, and that was super disappointing, because that was a lot of planning. We had a blast. We absolutely had a blast. And we're going to get together and do it again. But those were 3 or 4 big videos that were supposed to come out over the last 5 or 6 weeks that just haven't happened. But all that being said, I have a spicy one for you today. So let's get into it. All right, so what are we doing today? So today, I bought some cards. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to take a look at what I bought. And boys and girls, I'll just tell you, it's spicy. So let's see what we got in here. First and foremost, there is an issue because... are my sleeves in here? I ordered sleeves with it. Are they in here? There's no way there's 100-count sleeves in here. We'll see. I've been playing a lot of Viserai lately. Oh, by the way, this is a Flesh and Blood video, FYI. I've been playing a lot of Viserai lately. There are not sleeves in here, so I need to reach out and tell them I didn't get my sleeves. And so I ordered a bunch of cards that I need to play Viserai. And I'm super stoked because it came just in time. It's been weird. The post office has not been getting it to me in time. Oh yeah, this one's sealed separately. We'll save these. We'll just put those right there. We'll just put those right there. So tonight's Thursday. We got locals tomorrow, and I'm gonna be jamming my favorite Viserai, which is Turtleburst. So in order to play with everything that's going on right now, I've been playing into a lot of azaleas. So I picked up 3, maybe I only picked up 2. We'll see. 2 Warmonger's Diplomacy. So stop some nasty pumps and things like that. Can really shut down a couple of decks, but it's really only there for Azalea because I hate playing into Azalea. Snag, the card from Crew that everybody forgot about, but is just so good into... Now I know I ordered 3 of those. So good into new. And then we have That All You Got. I like that into both new and ninjas. Speaking of going into ninjas, we have Amnesia. And you know what? Let me get everything in order here, because it doesn't look like this is in order. So let me get everything in order, and then we will go over all of our cards. And if you notice anything special or significant about these, go ahead and leave your comment down below and let me know what you have noticed about these cards. I should probably have these in here. Amplify. Oh, there's my grasp. Grasp is super good. Crown is super good. There's my other warmongers. Okay, so yeah, these are not in order. Looming Doom. Another Sonata. We're going to go over all these here in just a minute. Runes. Rune Blood Incantation. I know Viserai is not super meta right now or really high on anybody's list. But man, I love Viserai. I also really love Vincent. And I might even start playing Vincent at our locals. Yeah, here we go. Tunic. Scepter and Lantern. Okay. We'll put our equipment over here. We'll go over equipment last. Where are my other Blessings of Occult? Okay, Blessings of Occult. Alright, so let's order these how I would want. Yeah, these are not all my cards, I don't think. Well, I'm already pretty frustrated by this order. Because I ordered sleeves to go with it, and I don't have any sleeves. I only see one become the Arc Knight. One Looming Doom, one Rune Blood Barrier, one Dread Cryptarch, one This Round's on Me. Hopefully, I just made a mistake. But I do have here in the order where it says I'm supposed to get my sleeves, and I paid $10 for sleeves, so I'm going to make sure that gets fixed. So let's order these the way I want them. Put tax back here. We'll go over tax and our equipment suite last. Go these, go those. And then at the end, we'll count all these up because there's supposed to be 52 here. I don't know that there's 52. Right. And then Warmongers or Snag, and that's all you got. Put right here. And put our equipment suite back here. Alright, cool. So let's start going over everything we have here. D-React. So this, the Turtleburst deck is an annoyingly defensive deck where you build up your... you build up your rune chance, and you want to hit Arc Knight Ascendancy, and you want to pummel it, and you want to pump it. A lot of the decks run Slogism. I personally don't. But the whole idea is to stall for time until you can get the big turns in. So we have a lot of tools to help us do that, one of which is That All You Got. So That All You Got is a generic defense reaction that blocks for 3. When it's defending an attack with 2 or less base or 2 or less power, when the combat chain closes, draw a card. So it's a block 3 that draws you a card most of the time. That's what you want to use it for. So it's pretty great. I love it. Next up, we talked about it a minute ago, Snag. Snag is you just sideboard it in when you're playing against a new. Attack action cards can't gain power from their own effects or the effects of attack reactions this turn. It's really just there for new. I guess you could sub it in like against a Dorinthia, maybe a warrior. If you see many Kasais, things like that. But it's there for new. That's what it's there for. Of course, we run 3 of those. Talked about Warmongers earlier. So starting with the hero to your left, each hero chooses war or peace. If they choose war, the only actions they may play or activate during the next turn are weapons and attack actions. If they choose peace, the only action that they may play or activate during the next turn are non-weapon, non-attack actions. This shuts down several people. This shuts down Azalea if you do play into event set or a more aggro. Excuse me. Or a more aggro Runeblade that wants to play like Mabrine Skies, attack, Revel and Runeblood, attack again. Things like that. It kind of shuts down their turn, and it just helps you buy time. Looming Doom, we're supposed to have 3 of these. We don't. Looming Doom, I know it's good. It's good in tandem with another card that we'll go over in a minute, Sonata Galaxia. But basically what this does is this turns all of your rune chants into counters onto this card, and at the end of your turn, you can ping a target for 2 damage, target player for 2 damage. So if you have, 10 rune chants, when you play this, it's going to consume all of those, and it's going to present 20 damage over 10 turns. So I like it when I don't see AB on the opponent, or I'm just having a really hard time digging for the cards that I want, and I still want some pressure on. It's really good into like an Enigma, or that only runs AB1. And so you know that, sure, they can prevent one of the damage from Looming Doom, but another one's going to come over the top and ping and do some damage there. Become the Arknight is just one of the best cards in the game because it's a tutor and says go find the card that you want. So when you play it, you can either discard a non-attack action or an attack action card, and then you will go tutor for the opposite one. So if you discard a non-attack action, search your deck for a Runeblade attack action, reveal it and put it into your hand, and shuffle, go again. It's very, very good. Speaking of very, very good, Runeblood Barrier is awesome. First of all, right off the top, it makes 4 rune chant tokens. It's pretty great because we want to make rune chants. Next, for the next turn, if your hero would be dealt damage, instead destroy that many rune chants you control and prevent 1 damage that source would deal for each rune chant destroyed this way. So this is another stalling tool. If it just makes 4 rune chants, that's great. If it prevents damage, again, it's into new. It's great into new because all of her on hits, if the damage is prevented, doesn't matter. So if they go to Bonds of Agony you or Persuasive Prognosis or whatever, if it just eats a rune chant, it just eats a rune chant and they don't get the on hit. So pretty great. We talked a little bit about Sonata Galaxia earlier. Phenomenal card because it can go fetch your clunkier things to play, such as the Runeblade Barrier or Runeblood Barrier or the Looming Dooms that cost 3. And so what this is it is a XX cost. So whatever you're going to look for, you have to pay twice. So you could either pay 2, 4, 6, 8, so on and so forth. And then you go and search your deck for a Runeblade Aura with cost X or less. But if X is 2 or more, this card gets go again. So you can... and the most important text on the card, that this costs 1 less to play for each rune chant you control. So, if you control 6 rune chants, you're going to pay 6 because you have to pay X twice. So, you're looking for something that costs 3 or less. Because you're choosing 3, but you have to pay 3 twice, so you're paying 6. And then you can go and get your Runeblood Barrier. It comes in, it makes you 4 rune chants. You're happy, and you get go again. So it really lets you cheat out those bigger cards that are clunkier because you don't want to play on your turn because it takes up your turn. Phenomenal card. We get 2 of those. Oh, 3, sorry. Mordred Tide. Mordred Tide is also great in tandem with our hero ability because we make a rune chant whenever we play more than 1 Runeblade card in a turn. So you play this at the start of your turn, and then every time your hero ability procs throughout the rest of the turn, you're going to make an extra rune chant token. Right. We're back. So not only are you going to make those extra rune chant tokens off of your hero ability, but any of the cards you play as well. For example, well, not Rattlebones. Okay, we'll look at it in a minute. Rattlebones is great, and basically how I treat Rattlebones is it is an extra 3 Arcanite Ascendancies. So Rattlebones costs 2. You banish target attack action card from your graveyard. You can play it this turn. Simple as that. So you're going to pay 2. You're going to go dig for an Arcanite Ascendancy out of your graveyard, and you're going to slam it down, hopefully for free, and hope that you have some pumps to go with it. It's a good time. It has a little extra text on it that says, if you have dealt arcane damage to an opponent this turn, you can play it as though it was an instant. It doesn't happen often, and when it does, it can be nice because you can, maybe swing your weapon at the end of the turn or do something like that, but you're not really hedging your bets on that. Next up are things that make rune chants. Blessing of the Occult costs 1. You set it out, and next turn it's going to make you 3 rune chants. Pretty sweet. We got 3 of those. Read the Runes costs nothing, and it immediately makes you 3 rune chants. This is really, really good to cheat out with something like Spellblade or Spellbound Creepers. If you have Creepers, play it on your opponent's turn so it doesn't take up your turn. But making 3 rune chants is really good. Another way to make rune chants that's really good is Runeblood Invocation. This is going to sit on your field in red. It's going to make you rune chants over 3 turns, but just having that consistent rune chant generation every turn is wonderful. And now cards to go with our Arcanite Ascendancies and things like that. Runic Reckoning is great. So Runic Reckoning is a 1-cost pump, but it costs 1 less for each rune chant you control. So usually you're going to play this for free, and the next Runeblade attack action card you play this turn gets +3. Go again. So it's pretty great. 0 cost +3 is pretty good. And it's going to turn on your hero ability, so the next card you play is going to make you a rune chant. Whew, sorry about that, guys. Been struggling with allergies. All right. Next up, another one of our little tech cards, Amnesia. So I got turned on to Amnesia recently, and this only goes in against Zen and maybe into Runeblades too, because they care about their tokens being named. But what this says is when this hits a hero, cards and tokens they own lose and can't gain names until the start of your next turn. So what that means for Zen is no combo, no Crouching Tiger matters, things like that. It's really great. It shuts down their whole turn. I mean, they might be able to throw some low attack go-agains at you, but they're not going to combo off anything because none of their cards have names. And then into the Runeblades, anything that cares about rune chants will not proc. So, like if you're playing Viserai, their stuff's not going to cost less because of the rune chants on the board because they're not named rune chants. If you're playing into Vincent, she's not going to be able to play anything from Banish because rune chants aren't on her board. Now, if they do attack, it's still going to trigger the rune chants and they're going to come in. They just don't have the name. We should have more of these, but there's only 1 in here. So Dread Triptych. I run 3 of these. Usually it is a blue pitch block for 3, but it has its moments when you can attack with it and be pretty good because it can generate a lot of rune chants. So it says, when you attack with Dread Triptych, if you've played an on-attack action card this turn, create a rune chant. When you attack with it, if you have dealt arcane damage this turn, create a rune chant. Now that triggers after all your rune chants. So if you pop a bunch of rune chants when you attack with this, and one of them goes through, that trigger will work. And then lastly, if Dread Triptych hits, create a rune chant token. So it could very well generate 4 rune chants. Getting into our what you want to attack for free with cards, we have Amplify the Arknight. Is a 3-cost, 6 attack, but it costs 1 less for each rune chant you control. So you're hoping to never have to pay for it. Speaking of things you don't want to pay for, this 9-cost, 9-attack card, 9th Blade of the Blood Oath, however, again, costs 1 less for each rune chant you control. So you are probably never paying for that. And then what we're hedging all of our bets on Arknight Ascendancy. So this is a Viserai specialization. It is a 6 cost, 5 attack. But it costs 1 less for every rune chant you control. Again, you don't plan to pay anything for this. But here's the kicker. So it has Dominate, right? Which is great. But if it hits, you create X rune chant tokens where X is the damage dealt by Arknight Ascendancy. Now here's our whole game plan. Our whole game plan is to take our Runic Reckonings, take Pummels, take Slogism, pump this, dominate, send a bunch of rune chants at them, and then make a bunch more rune chants. That's the whole game plan. And we have a This Round's on Me. This goes in against your ninjas, anything that goes really, really wide. But you got to be careful with it because, we'll just read it. Cost 1, each hero draws a card. Until the start of your next turn, attacks a target you have -1. You draw a card, you pay 1, you draw a card, which is nice, but your opponent draws a card, which is a problem. So I really only put this in if I'm playing against a ninja, Zen, Fi, Katsu, whatever. I don't really find it useful against anybody else because I'm just giving them a card. Now let's look at our equipment suite. We have a tunic, which is phenomenal. Arcane Lantern, just for when we go into the mirrors. The super important gloves, the Grasp of the Arknight. Once per turn action, you can pitch 2, create a rune chant token. This does cost an additional 1 resource to activate per rune chant that you have. So if you have no rune chants, it costs 2. If you have 1, it costs 3, so on and so forth. And it can block for 3, which is great. It has Battle Worn, so it's still going to stay there. Crown of Providence, fantastic piece of equipment. Can help you get some clunky stuff out of your arsenal, or save your arsenal from disruption. Oh, now we get into the good stuff. Cha-ching! Arknight Shard. We'll see how much we play this. But this is a legendary Viserai specialization. This is so it pitches for 3. When you pitch it, create a rune chant token. Pretty sweet. Spellbound Creepers. Spellbound Creepers have a lot of text, so they block for 1, hopefully never block. But here's the important part. Once per turn instant, put a bind counter on Spellbound Creepers. You may play your next non-attack action card this turn as though it were an instant. Activate this ability only if you have attacked or defended with an attack action card this turn. Keyword, defended, very, very important. That means you can do this on your opponent's turn. It's like we talked about earlier with the Read the Runes. Whoa. You block with an attack action card. You pay 1 on your opponent's turn. You can play Read the Runes as an instant. Get it out of your hand and move on. Now, at the beginning of your end phase, you have to destroy Spellbound Creepers unless you have dealt arcane damage this turn equal or greater to the number of counters on it. So every time you use it, it gets more difficult to keep around. But if you get 1 or 2 uses out of it and you can block with it, it's pretty good. And then our weapon, the Scepter of Pain. Scepter of Pain is pretty baseline. Once per turn action, deal 1 arcane damage to any opposing target. Create a rune chant for each damage dealt this way. There's 2 important things about this. This is not an attack, so this does not trigger your rune chant. So this is a really great way to almost tax your opponent and say, if I've got nothing else to do, maybe I blocked heavy this turn, I'm going to pitch 2, I'm going to send the Scepter at you. It's not going to trigger my rune chants, so I can still build those up, and I'm going to say, hey, if they have AB, I've played a lot of people recently that have not brought AB to the matchup, but if they have AB, hey, are you going to get rid of a card out of hand for 1 damage? And you make them answer that question, because 1 of 2 things happen. Either A, they do it, or B, you get basically 2 points of value off it. Actually, maybe even more than that. You're dealing 1 damage to them. You're creating a rune chant, which is 1 damage down the road, but that rune chant is also a resource reduction on a lot of your most important cards. So it's really, really great. Alright, this is not all the cards for the deck. This is just the cards that I needed. It's actually not even all of them, because it doesn't look like I got all my cards. But we got some cool ones. We got this Arknight Shard here, you know, whatever, it's okay. Spellbound Creepers, you know, they're okay. Not much money at all. So I'm wondering if anybody's commented by now, if anybody's keen eye picked this up. Here's the spicy part of the video. These are all proxies. These are from printingproxies.com. They're clearly marked as proxies. My local playgroup is cool with proxies. I've never played with them before because honestly, I don't like playing against them from the other side of the table. But what I don't like is when they are just a roughly, you know, rectangular white piece of paper that says name of card up top, deal damage, resource it pitches for. Because as the opposing player, I have no idea what that card does. Lots of my knowledge of the cards is based more off the art than it is the name of the cards. Like if I see the art of the card, I'll be like, oh, I know what that card does. Not if I, you know, read, you know, Grasp of the Arknight or whatever. So I wanted to put it in order for these proxies and see what I thought. See what you guys thought. So, I mean, these, you know, I would say as far as proxies go, these are pretty high quality. They're legible, right? There's some inconsistencies here. So like you can see on the Spellbound Creepers, you know, we've got the set, we've got crew, we've got the card number, we've got the legendary tag. For the tunic, we don't have that. It's showing it as a promo, but it doesn't really look like the promo. Where is? Hang on. I'm gonna get my tunic. My real tunic. Let's see what my real tunic looks like. I also did just order a real Grasp of the Arknight as well, because Rosetta has been announced. Rune Blade hype is real. There's our proxy, and there's our real one. Obviously, it's different art for the promo, but... And this is a history pack. So, but I would say, I mean, at a glance, it would be hard to tell for sure what's real and what's not. But anyway, I did order a real Grasp of the Arknight. I don't know that I'll continue to buy many of the proxies. But if I do, if there's something that I really want to play and I don't want to drop, you know, $600 to get the deck, because a lot of these cards, I don't know if you guys noticed, have gone up in price recently, such as snags. Snags have become expensive. Warmongers have become expensive. That all you got for a D react is pretty expensive. So yeah, this was just kind of my way to dip my toes, you know, because I don't want to pay. Yeah, I'm not paying $284, I think, for an Arknight Shard. It really doesn't even need to go in the deck. If you look at the deck list, if you look at a Turtleburst deck, most of them don't have Arknight Shard for obvious reasons. You know, Grasp, I did just pay $100 for because the price has gone up on them with the Rosetta announcement, Spellbound Creepers. If you want to play a new deck and you don't want to drop, you know, $600 to get all the cards that you need, to play at your local playgroup, if your local playgroup is cool with it. There's a lot that aren't, and that's fine, because in general, that's how I prefer things, you know. Why are we buying cards if we're not going to play with real cards? But for playtesting purposes and just, you know, doing a Friday night get-together kind of thing, or an armory, I think this is fine. These are high quality. They're legible. You're not playing in a tournament setting, so I think this is okay. Now, the important part, my review of printingproxies.com. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. Okay, so I must have messed up, and I will admit my fault. That I must have not clicked 3 copies on like Rainbow Barrier and things like that. Because as you can see here, I ordered 52 custom playing cards, which is what we just counted out. A pack of sleeves in black, which I did not get. And 2 foil upgrades. So the foil upgrades came separately. And you can see it says with normal, foil, Arknight, and Spellbound Creepers. Which is what we have here. Boom, 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 boom. I wanted to test the foils out and see how they looked. I was just interested. So, as far as... Okay, we're back. Everything is falling apart. And I have made a mess now trying to find some of the cards in my collection that I didn't order. Like... Oh, gosh. Okay, I was like, I know I pulled too many of them. Reduced to Rune Chant. Reduced to Rune Chant is a... very simply a defense reaction. Yellow blocks for 3, red blocks for 4, and it makes you Rune Chant. Pretty great. I also dug through my collection to find another Looming Doom, another Rune Blood Barrier, Runic Reclamations, and some more This Round's on Me to help round out the deck. Good blues that can also make Rune Chants and help. Oath of the Arknight. 3 of Vexing Malice, which I've slept on for so long that I played this game. This card wins games. 90% of the game, it is a blue block 3, but towards the end of the game, attacking for 1 and dealing 2 arcane damage plus whatever Rune Chants you have is pretty good. Pummels. You save Pummels for your big turns, and Disruption. Hand Disruption is always great. Plus 4 is always great. Personally, I like to use it on Arknight Ascendancy because that says it's on Dominate and it says make 4 more Rune Chants. It's pretty great. Slogism is in a lot of these decks. I just don't know how much I like it. Plus 6 on an attack is pretty great. So if you could just have a 3-card hand. You could have a blue, an Arknight Ascendancy, and a Slogism, and swing for 11 Dominate, plus however many Rune Chants you have, and then however many you're going to make on the back end. So it does get there. Spellblade Assault is another blue block 3, but it does attack for 2, and it makes 2 Rune Chants. So if you're trying to get started early, and you don't have a whole lot of Rune Chants that you're going to pop whenever you swing with it, like maybe you have 1, maybe you have 2, and you just want to put a little pressure, that's pretty great. Final thoughts, I got to wrap this one up because it's late, it's almost midnight. If you're interested, you know, I had a pleasant experience purchasing these cards from printingproxies.com. They do more than Flesh and Blood. In fact, I think Flesh and Blood is probably the least thing they do. I think they're mostly Magic the Gathering. But I saw they do Lorcana, One Piece, Flesh and Blood, obviously. So if you're interested, check it out. We're going to look at it at a side-by-side here. Obviously, this one's foil and this one's not. Text is darker, for sure, and a little blurrier. But, I mean, at a glance, on a table, can't tell the difference. Now, to be clear, I am not advising that you purchase these and try to pass them off as real cards, because that is scummy. I am saying if your local playgroup is okay with it and you want to try out a new deck and you don't want to spend all the money on equipments, or maybe it's flavor of the month and price has gone up on some weird stuff that you got rid of for, you know, bucks a while ago, then check it out. If you're ordering more than 50 cards, which is what I did, it's $1 a card. And if you want to foil a card, it's an extra like $1.50, something like that. So it's really not that bad. You think if you're buying an 80 card deck, $80 for a full deck. I mean, 90% of the time you're going to pay one of that for a piece of equipment. Normally a tunic, tunics are $80, $90. So I think it's a great way to play test. But that's all I have for today. I am so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be sharing stuff with you guys again. Mistvale has been so cool and brought so much life back into the game for me. I'm very, very excited to see where it goes and what the meta shakes up to be. I am tired of getting pounded by Zens and News. That's getting old. But it's a good time. We're going to keep playing and having a blast. And then we're probably going to hard pivot to Runeblade and prepare for Rosetta. So I hope you guys come on this journey with me. Let me know how you're feeling about the Flesh and Blood content that we've been doing lately. And if you want to see more, because you're going to see more, spoilers. And I hope you guys enjoyed it today. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Big thank you to our Patreon supporters, Sam, Caleb, and Adam. We couldn't do this without you guys. So I hope everybody has a good night. Thank you.